Welcome to Life Just Might Be Ghetto, but I'm considering, if I should change this theory. I like to look at myself as a theorist. You know what I'm saying? It has not become law for me, but I like to look at it as a theorist. So when it comes to theory, is life really ghetto? That's just me being, Plato and allegorical. So with that being said, this is your host, Destiny, aka DJ Evaloution, and I'm here to tell you life is lifing me right now. But you know what? I got these hands and I'm handling it. It's not violence, it's handling it. So with that being said, I had so many beautiful projects for you guys. I've had so many different podcasts. I talked about dopamine levels and serotonin deficiencies, all that boring stuff that is good for, your melatonin or whatever. No, I'm kidding. For your serotonin. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a know-it-all. But with that being said, this day and age, when you have a phone that's, structured in a way to where it 100% does its own thing in this day and age. We don't have the little memory cards back in the day, which was tangibility. We actually have phones that store and you have an iCloud. It's complicated right now. I need it back to being simple. I put my little memory card in there. I take the little memory card out. So, I'm starting to see that doing podcasts via my phone is not it. So, in that I'm learning responsibility. So with that, I can't trust this technology to do its thing for me. I actually have to sit here and realize technology is actually, we think that it's wise and all that stuff. It's actually not. So we blame technology and that makes us project our stupidity onto the technology. So it's just back and forth, just, using technology as a scapegoat, So we need to clean up our narcissism and we need to take responsibility for if we don't back up our files, we can't blame technology. So I'm in that realm. I'm learning that and I'm pissed off. I don't I don't want or don't want to do. I don't know. But long story short, what I'm understanding about this is that was just, that was just thorough. I had some really good points. I talked about relationships. I talked about serotonin, but you know what? We're going to make it better. We're going to master our craft. And when I come with the podcast, we're going to be ready to just have debatable topics. And you know what? We're going to bring guests. I've had lots of people that wanted to come on my podcast. I debate. I will really sit here and debate the most randomest things. But let me tell you, don't stop there. I'm finna have statistics. Let me tell you, I upset people because I have statistical data. You sit there and you want to say that, Black people live this way. I really have a book. I really got a book recently on poverty because I wanted to understand poverty. And the statistics to me don't match. You know what I'm saying? I'm just no. So it really looks at the data that they pick up. What is the medians of the data? Honestly, that's how you sit here and you do your statistics. So if it's from 6 to 40, that is not logical data. And if it's even from 18 to 40, that's not logical data. I think logical data should be tracked from 30 to 40 because you need to look at when is true maturity. At 18, I'm over here getting messed up in the club. I'm over here. I don't care. Sometimes at 18, people's cars get towed and you still have that leeway of depending on others. But when do we look at when you have to be responsible? I think when you when you leave your 20s, I think when you get into your 30s and stuff, it's more shame that you have to deal with. As we're unpacking shaming, public shaming, let's get into this mix by DJ Evaloution. It's going to be a live, uninterrupted mix for about 10 minutes. Are y'all ready? Let's get it. You're live in the mix with DJ Evaloution. Evolutionizing the way you see, feel, and hear music. Let's get it.
can't wiggle like that. Sticking in her, have a motor booty contest and pick a winner. When she running, you never see a pro coming last. She's so fast, she got a 454 in her pants. You're never gonna win that race. Put on a seatbelt, don't let her sit on your face. She might kill you in the morning at 2:14, doing the P-pop like she from New Orleans. It's been a while, more than 10 years past. When you close your eyes, you can still see a stash. My mama used to dance like that, bouncing her butt, put her hands on her back. Saw her grandmama do it, put a baby in her arm, put her hand on the car and started swinging it hard. Every player in the party wanna get with her quick. Looked like she was humping an invisible stick. Like a stripper, squiggle that tail like your name is Flipper. Do it like a dolphin on top of the water. Take it to the ground and pop it harder. You been hanging around them pimps again. Got your gangster walking like in Memphis 10. Get it, girl, like the way you bounce. You must have learned that deep down way in the south. You from the west coast, where you learn to do that dance. So pumped, I'm about to jump through the back of your pants. I wouldn't pass up a chance to grip your cheeks, all in your jaws and kick it for a week. Now all that booty is that for me. It's looking so fat, we at the party. Let's hit the bar and drink tequila shot. Find a spot on the floor and let me see it drop. Now just back it up and dip. Let him know you the baddest little chick. Put your hand on your hip. Ask him, do it like that. The way you move your butt, all he wanna do is cut. Outside, him and you in the truck, him and you in the truck. Sex so good, you can't do it enough. Him and you in the truck. Sex so good, you can't do it enough.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that mix. We're going into the next mix. This is DJ Evaloution's rendition She's so good with it. So good with it. Shake it like a salt shaker. 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 Pop it till you percolate. First put it on, do it, no time to wait. Take it work with your wet t-shirt. You gotta shake it till your tail must hurt. Say the heels on the feet. Strap around your ankle. Call that Bojangle. Push it like fruit or douche like poop. Get loose on the goose or ride off. Take your table down. If you got tea then bring the friend. Shake it to the song again. If you ain't with it, we're grown then. We ain't no boys, we grown then. You ain't gon' dance, well done then. Why you wanna waste a deep song then? See you way down doing nothing. On the floor wide open. So much to call up in the ocean. Like an 18-wheeler. I'm with this girl naked. She's so good with it. She's naked. So good with it. Shake it like a salt shaker. 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 Put your hands on it. Take it down, make it work away. Bring the walls on it. Put your hands on it. Roll it, let it rock.
18 Nola. Shake it like a dollar, 5 or 10. What would you do for a 20 and 20? Get on the stage, shake that get on the pole, do a back I like that, do it again. Here's another 10, you can do it again. Feel like a game that you're playing to win. But it ain't win.
Strong and real good. The whole world is great bones and big butts. Ain't been splitting all on the floor. On the bike, get a nice certified roll. On the pole upside down. For 59, plenty of time to play a all that shit hurt, my night shit turn. You ain't really ready to try, so you just
Blow wide open, she's on the ocean. She's soaking wet, she naked, soaking wet. Shake it like a salt, shake it like a salt, shake it like a salt, shake it like a salt.
Alright, as we get into the next mix, how y'all feeling? How y'all knees? Are they good? Like, we a little older, so I just want to check. Alright, we get into the next mix. Let me tell you, took my time. Let's get into it. With that being said, you are listening to Life Might Be Ghetto, the podcast debut. This is episode number 1, and you are live in the mix with DJ Evaloution. Yes, I do also do podcasts and DJing, and it's all the same person. This is brought to you by DJ Evaloution. Let's get into this mix live and in effect. Let's go.
Do it up, slapping ass, call the ass, get rough. Switch position, ready to get down to business, so you can see what you've been missing. You're my ass on, but you never had nothing like this. Just wait till you see my dick, hey bitch. Wait till you see my dick. Wait till you see my dick, hey bitch. Wait till you see my dick. I'ma beat that pussy up, hey bitch. Wait till you see my dick. Wait till you see my dick, hey bitch. Wait till you see my dick. I'ma beat that pussy up like
Okay, as we are winding down, let's get back into the podcast. You guys do remember we were listening to Life Might Be Ghetto's podcast, right? I hope y'all not too turned up on a Thursday. Well, any day that you're listening to it. You guys know this is a podcast, right? We about to get back into it. It's more shame that you have to deal with. If you're almost 40 years old arguing with someone in a store, it's more shameful stares. But if you're 18, it's justified. It's like, they're a child. And people kind of think that they're better than you. If they think they're better than you, they're not going to hold you accountable. But if you look a little better than them, let's throw on you got a little Gucci outfit and you arguing with everybody. People gonna want to sit there and they're gonna want to be better than you. So it's gonna be almost 20 of people staring at you in that store. You just gonna take over that whole store and they just gonna stare at you. And that's accountability, and I like to call that a self concept. And I think at 18 years old, we don't have a strong self concept. And this day and age, I want to look at what is self concept for us, So when it comes to it, I'm not inviting people to give me their opinions. People want to piggyback off what I'm doing. You make your own podcast, and then when I hear it, I review it, I listen to it, and then you get on my show. You have to audition for this. You know what I'm saying? So people want to piggyback on what you're already doing. No, I want to see your structure, what you do, and then you can piggyback on this. So with that being said, I will be bringing just the most amazing people that really know what they're talking about. I'm not going to have anyone that's just going to be talking air, or just don't know what they're doing. I'm bringing people that's going to bring healthy facts, and they're going to let you guys know what they think about their self-concept and how it contributes to certain things. So I am a little sad because I really had statistical data, but when I look at it, I think you guys want like a very straightforward podcast, because if I have all these facts and I'm telling you about yourself and you're learning stuff about yourself, you actually can go on YouTube and do that yourself. Because what I did was I did my research and I looked on there. But when we talk about testimonial stuff and we're sitting here and we're talking about what we go through and how we get through that certain stuff, that is when you will really feel for yourself how this data can apply to your life. So with that being said, I want to look at self-respect. When people give unsolicited advice, I really want to look at that. That's this day and age. Do you really respect yourself? Because we live in this culture like, you can't afford me, you can't do this and that. But my thing is, why are you giving unsolicited advice? Go run a seminar, because you'd crash that seminar into a wall. You'd be like the Kool-Aid man jumping through the wall. And as a kid, I was like, I don't think the Kool-Aid man knows boundaries, but he's got Kool-Aid. But yeah, I could get dark with that, but we're going to keep it light. So with that being said, I really, as a kid, did not think that the Kool-Aid man had boundaries. I was like, why is he busting through the walls? I know you have Kool-Aid, but it feels like a love bomb. But you know what? That's just my dark humor. So with that being said, I feel, when people give unsolicited advice, it almost feels like a love bomb. You're trying to act like you got your things together and you're trying to pretend like you are me. You're trying to just be yourself. So with this podcast, what I'm focusing on is be yourself. I'm weird. I'm kind of whimsical. I'm quiet. I do what I want to do. And I don't like when people sit there and they're like watching me, judging me, this and that. It's like, I want to get to know you. You know what I'm saying? But from another perspective, I have people that I see and I just admire. So you just enjoy the human nature of it. I can't sit here and tell you to be who you should be, because what is that truth? If you look at it, some humans are annoying, but I accept that about you. You annoy me, But with that being said, you can really sit there and differentiate who you want to be around. Because when you sit there and you're like, wow, you're annoying. Let's just tell you, on Thursdays, you can't be around me because I feel I need space from that annoyance. So when you have certain people trying to control how you do certain things and this and that, you choose when you allow them around you. You know what I'm saying? So I do not care about this day and age where you say an opinion and then people want to be offended and all of a sudden, poof, you're a narcissist. But we live on social media where it's a pay attention to me culture. So my thing is, if you need me to be a narcissist, I'm not going to stand in that category, because let me tell you, who is like, look at social media, like who, like, or wake up, wake up. It's obvious. So with that being said, I feel that, that's not a bad word when you're confident and people be like narcissism. Okay. I didn't see you post 5 selfies that nobody commented on. Why can't you get in touch with you? So with that being said, I'm going to, with these podcasts, look into self-concept and self-respect. Why do you need someone to be your scapegoat for your narcissism? What are you afraid of when it comes to narcissism? If I come out the house and I'm cussing people out and you want to be right and you want to sit there and be like, you know what, you're an a-hole. Why are you trying to save me? Let me just be in my a-hole-ness. Why are you sitting here trying to parent me and trying to save me from being an a-hole? Let me do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm responsible for me at the end of the day. So we're definitely going to be looking at all that. I'm going to bring in people that I really think are intellectuals, people that are experts on it. And let me tell you, no, you know what I'm saying? We're going to look at you minding your business in my podcast. And that should be a thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, people fear freedom. They're like, oh my God, you give people freedom, this and that. Well, that's your business. That's your business. You know what I'm saying? So with this being said, I'm not making these podcasts to appease the youth and appease a culture that's out here. These podcasts are of my service, where I'm talking about what I believe in. And when we have healthy, debatable facts and statistics around it, you actually can help me change and shape my mind to see it from a different perspective. We're going to practice the openness of theory, the openness of debate, and the openness of communication. And when we look at openness, you cannot pull me into what you believe because you need me to validate you. We're not doing that. That is not how you raise opinions. When it comes to validation, I'm not here to stroke your ego. So when it comes to debating, I'm bringing that we are one with an idea and we're shaping it and forming it in a way to where I can understand why you think that way and you can understand why I think that way. And when we get that centeredness, we can look at it from another perspective as well. I'm here to just really look at things from perspective, because that's really what it is. So, we remove the opinions, we remove the you shoulds, this and that, and then we really look at it from, okay, that makes sense, but this is statistical data why it does not make sense. And I really want to see where this goes within the next year, and then also, add in, I might be DJing, who knows? So I have lots of content that I have already, recorded, and I would like to add that to my DJing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling lots of love. I'm feeling lots of support this year. And let me tell you, back in the day, I did not know what love and support authentically was. But when I tapped into just the divinity of love and support, I started to see that nothing is perfect. And everything's already here. And you know what? You need this to be that. You need things to be this and that. So when it comes to neediness, that's okay. And, I've been seeing a lot of women opening up about being too strong. And it's beauty, because that's the shift that I'm focused on. You can't generalize it where you're just telling people like this is the movement. It's really not. That's your movement, and your focus is I'm focused on the women that are moving towards that, and I support them and they support me. So right now when I'm focusing, I'm seeing a lot of women becoming softer, and beautiful women too. You know, they're opening up about how they gotta be the strong one, they gotta be the provider. And, you know, let's throw in, you know, it almost seemed easy to get, you become an influencer and it validates that strength, and you just start to look at how do I soften up my character. So when I'm focused and I'm seeing beautiful women that are, vulnerably admitting this, my heart is so full because that is their journey and they get to grow and expand in a newer part of them. Not only are they an influencer and they can almost shape and mold their life to almost go and flow in what they need. These people are actually looking at what is responsibility. And when they look at what is responsibility, or basically we could even get deeper, what is love? You really look at what is self-love. So when we look at self-love and you have love for the self, it's responsibility and self-love, So when I'm looking at these very responsible women taking responsibility for their families, they're not blaming their families. They're like, you know what? I learned this from my family, but I learned it and I tailored it and I brought it into my career. It is not working. I don't like it. It won't be me no more. I admire that accountability. And, I don't look at it from a perspective of you'll be responsible for various people. No, I look at it as your vulnerability allows other people to sit here and enjoy your vulnerability. And they get to see something for themselves. That's actually your testimony. So when people are testifying their problems and what they want to do with those problems and how they want to grow and expand and what can be looked as a weakness, you see grace. And when you see grace, I think that's when you really up level love. Because when you see grace and mercy in someone's pain, you get to see what true love is, because people tell you, hey, I've been there. I understand it. I got you. This is a movement. So I want to applaud the various women that are seeing things for themselves and they want to be softer and they want to be better for, whomever they're dating. I know it's, it gets complex in the dating world. We have different things here. But when it comes down to it, I want to applaud the people that are taking the journey into self-love and respect and just diving deep into grace, diving deep into mercy. And when you dive deep into mercy, you're able to just have the strongest forgiveness for what is. You don't need to tell people, it's forgiveness. It's here. It's stronger than you. It is a momentum. It's here. So when you dive into grace and mercy, you start to see the beauty of humanity. Humanity does its best. And this is what's here right now. And you have a choice. You could either match the aggressiveness of that humanity, or you could dive into the softness of it, and you can own how you were a part of the aggressiveness. And when you own that you were a part of the aggressiveness and you see the actions that are being taken and you get to see who's present in that aggressiveness and where it's going, you get to look at the impact of that aggressiveness. And when you look at the impact of that aggressiveness, you get to make a choice in love and grace and mercy. And that is when the true journey starts, as when the true journey begins. And that is when you feel connected to others. And that is when the narcissism, the vanity, and the arrogance subsides, I guess you can say, and it leaves, and you can connect to that person or to humanity in a way that you're not acting like you're better than them. You actually get it. You understand humanity. And in that authenticity, you get to see your bigness, actually. and you stop projecting your smallness onto people because you understand, in your understanding, nothing's small. This is not an easy journey. And any person that makes it seem like it's easy, you just have understanding that this isn't your journey and you're not the one to tell me how to get through it. So I applaud all the people that are sitting here and they are understanding their journey. And even when I would look at certain principles, it would be certain teachers I just couldn't relate with because they were so in tune with something that I was like, ooh, I ain't ready to do that. But when I got really centered in something that is authenticity, don't talk about a spiritual awakening. Don't talk about, I'm enlightened when you ain't ready to go through the storm in your boat. If you can't go through the storm in your boat, please do not tell me how to be a sailor and how to be on a boat. So I'm going to conclude this short preview of my podcast, Life Might Be Ghetto, but we're going to fine tune it and we're going to look at some new words to go with, but maybe we might go with that. So with that being said, I thank you guys for giving me another chance. I don't fumble. I just got tackled. That's it. I did not fumble. I got tackled. And with that being said, when I was tackled, they gave me the task, the star quarterback cussed me out, and I got it right. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it wasn't a fumble. Was not a fumble. I just have to understand that happens in life. So, with my files not being there, it's because something better is on the way. And I just want to let you guys know I'm excited for this new journey. And I'm so excited for where this podcast can go and all the beautiful guests that will be on here. And let me tell you, I'm excited for 2023, actually. Sometimes, I think I just was excited for the new year to drink. And I'm going to be honest, you go with your friends, you turn up, ball drop, you hear some really good doom, 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 and you just turned up and you really don't get present with, wow, this is a whole new year, bruh. You're just drinking. So, that's growth and expansion too. So with that being said, I'm not shaming nobody. I'm not coming for nobody. It's actually just hilarity to me. So yeah, we're going to end this podcast and I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Welcome to 2023. I hope that you guys are setting your intentions. You're claiming what you want and you're enjoying your life. So what y'all think about the first episode of Life Might Be Ghetto? I think, I touch bases on some pretty funny things. And, I think my funniest thing that I heard when I reviewed it was, Kool-Aid Man needs boundaries. And, boundaries are very important for life. So as we reflect on boundaries, as we reflect on healthy self-concepts, let's get into another mix. I'm going to give you guys about a couple little minutes of, little debut of, some more Nola. And then we're going to end it. Thank you so much for your time. Just know you rocking with your girl DJ Evaloution, and this is my mix for Life Might Be Ghetto. Let's hit it.
where they came from. Still got more money. You was know you won't stop. Still got my last ring. All I see is signs. All I see is that's how we ball out. That's how we ball out. That's how we ball out. That leg cost 100 bills. I still got more money. Gold all up in my grill. Still got more money. Here's how you haters feel. I still got more money. Call Jerry up and close the deal. Still got more money. Praise on and they love my smell. Still got more money. Who cares about what I spend? Still got more money. My pockets deep and they never end. Still got more money. I'm done with all my friends. Still got my last ring. All I see is signs. All I see is color signs. That's how we ball out. 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 That's how we ball out.
To the 5-4, yeah, all red 6-4, yeah, all red dick, yeah, real Crips, all I know, yeah, doing numbers at the swap meet, yeah, 100 killers on the concrete, yeah, 100 killers on one street, yeah, serving crack to your auntie, yeah, tell me what you gon' do with the work, tryna trip on the set, make them hurt, came bustin' up the set in a vert, gave it up to the hood from the dirt, I might pull out the farm with the curb, pull up 5 runs, make a nerve, yeah, lay ride with me, that's the turn, getting money, game, playing night curve, press a nigga line on the dirt, riding through the check, ride with a 30 like a curve, go foul, go foul, go foul, go foul, go foul, go foul, I just went viral in some new shit. I just went viral in my new whip. I just went viral with the new drip.